You guys are watching the Step Back.
All right, man. Hey, we recording. We good. All right.
This son of a gun on Do Not Disturb.
All right. Got the pod. Another episode. We got the OG in the building. We got Mr. Christopher Seymour Simpson. Got some questions for him today. How you doing today? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right today.
Doing good. Doing
Not
good.
bad. It's Playoff Friday.
Playoff Friday.
It's Playoff Friday, yeah.
Oh, you're locked in?
I'm locked in. It's ready to go. We got soccer. We got soccer tonight. We got baseball. We got softball. You name it, it's probably happening here at LHS. If you ain't at the girls' playoff game, first time since 1999, Jonah.
Dang.
That's what I'm talking about. I know.
The stat line right there.
Let's give it up. That's 6 years after I graduated.
First question that we got.
I know.
First question that we got is, why do you suck at basketball?
Man, I don't. I mean, apparently, like, you didn't see what happened out there a couple of Fridays ago.
You
like,
lost.
Huh?
Y'all lost.
Yeah, but that's y'all. You said, why do you suck at basketball?
He was not hooping. Let's run the tape back.
I don't suck at basketball. I don't need to score. I led the league in assists.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey.
It ain't. I mean, that's part of the stat line.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let one of your other teachers hit the big shot.
I mean,
you know
Ricky Henderson, I didn't have them. You probably don't even know who he is, but Ricky Henderson didn't lead Major League Baseball in RBIs,
Nah,
but he did lead in stolen bases because he was fast. It doesn't mean that he didn't contribute. I was contributing. I was out there dishing it off. I was trying to get the other old dudes up there moving up and down.
John Stockton.
I'm telling you.
Johnny Boy.
Team player.
Team player.
Team player. Hashtag team player.
All right, well, if y'all wondering why Noah's here, he's just sitting here he's the co-host, but he's sitting there just
Here's your
eating.
Sprite.
Eating and drinking. But, all right. We gonna start it off easy. A little, who are you, where are you from?
Who are we? Where am I from? So, Chris Simpson. I was born and raised Austin and Leander. I don't know, like how far do you want to go back? Like birth?
Why not?
Sweet, awesome, great, cool. So mom is Libby Winkley. Dad is Ray Simpson. Obviously, that's where the middle name comes from. It ain't Seymour, it's Ray. So, but William J. Winkley Elementary was my grandfather.
Oh.
I know. I see a little tidbit that you didn't know about me.
Oh, I like
Right?
that.
Yep. So I grew up in County Glen, right by the Camco Mart. Actually, right up the road from a few of our students that actually live on the road that I grew up on. There you go. Can't say that. It's confidentiality.
That's federal.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to edit that out.
We're gonna edit that out now. So then went to the original Giddens Elementary, which is now known as the Leo Center. So I spent 6 years at Leo. Went to the. I know.
He served time. He served time.
I served some time, 6 years. Leander
6
Junior
years.
High, I was a Cub, and then came here in 1989 and graduated here in 1993. Went to the University of Texas at Austin.
Oh, that's what I'm
Got my
talking
undergraduate degree, Bachelor of Arts in Biology, then got certified to teach, went to Lamar University in Beaumont, got my master's, and been, like, teaching-wise, I opened up Running Brushy in 2000 as a teacher coach, went to Henry as a teacher coach, was the athletic coordinator at Wiley Middle School, and then an AP at Wiley Middle School, an AP at Rouse High School. We don't talk about that year very much. And then principal at Wiley Middle School, and then this is now my 6th year at Leander High School.
That's what I'm talking about. So how long you been in principal here? For 6 years?
Yes, this is in my 6th year.
Okay.
I've had a total of 23 years in Leander ISD.
What made you want to be a principal?
You know, now we're getting deep questions. They've been fun until then. So you know what? I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. I love what I do. I love being around kids. In terms of being a principal, every time you take a step up in a level of an organization, it's not about what I want. It's about what I think I can ultimately do to help teachers and help students. And so I wanted a larger influence on like what actually happens in the day-to-day lives of kids and the day-to-day lives of teachers. I thought I had something to offer. I think I've got something to offer, so
Yeah, like that.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, what were you doing like before? Like, first of all, like you were just like like the athletic coordinators and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think originally, when I was in college, I think I was set up to, a different path. And then when I graduated, I decided I didn't want to take that path. So I'd taken all the entrance exams, the MCATs and things like that, and decided it's not what I wanted to do. So I spent a year out working with a cousin, but I had a degree that was going to waste. And so I was like, you know what? I still want to go back and serve the youth. So I decided to start coaching football. I coached football, track, and taught 7th grade and 8th grade science.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they go to college and like they get the degree, but they end up doing something like totally different.
Right.
Like they don't even use it. Like, for an example, like I think one of my teachers that was at LMS, she got her like degree for some like space science or something like that, and now she's like a teacher.
And she's a teacher.
Yeah, like I mean that's not bad. We love our teachers. Love you, teachers. When was
You
teacher?
should love them.
Well,
You don't know how hard they work.
Yeah, I know. So I say I love them. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, I've got a Bachelor of Arts in biology. You know, I could have gone and worked for lots of different places, but
Yeah.
this is what I chose and this is what I've stuck with. So
If you weren't a principal, what would you be doing right now?
honestly, I'd be working for Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Oh, like animals?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the outdoors. So I mean, I like to hunt, I like to fish.
Yeah.
I like those types of things. So
Yeah. What is one thing? Or hold on, see. What would the students be surprised to find out about you? Like what's like a hidden talent?
ooh, a hidden talent. I mean, good looks are definitely something that's not hidden. I mean, y'all see that every day. So I wouldn't consider that hidden. I mean, I got the best shoes on campus. We can't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, you disagree with that?
No.
No, he's definitely-
I disagree.
Oh, you disagree?
No, you know who I've seen has some tough shoes? Coach Spencer. Coach Spencer, he has some Concord 11s that I want. Those are tough.
I knew Coach Spencer when he was at LMS. Don't even start on that. Man, a hidden talent. I don't know if I have a hidden talent or not.
Or what's like something that you should like to do that like people don't know?
I would say it's an unknown fact.
Oh, yeah, like an
Unknown fact. Well, I already told y'all one that my grandpa was William Winkley, and they had
Yeah.
elementary named after him. I think an other unknown fact. Here's kind of an interesting thing. You know, I lived in Wyoming for about 5 years. I guess
guess
it's not
that's
real.
Wyoming doesn't-
I guess it's not cool.
Yeah, Wyoming kind of like
Absolutely does.
it's a random. It's not
It's the
real.
most beautiful place on earth.
Huh?
It's God's country.
I
Oh,
disagree with
absolutely.
that. I disagree with
Yellowstone National Park.
that.
And
You know what?
Teton
You know
National
what? You
Park.
know what? You ever seen Santorini, Greece?
No, because I ain't got that kind of cash.
It's Google. It's free. It's Google. You can look it up.
Yes, you too. So I think a hidden talent. So I mean, I have hidden like hobbies and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
hobbies,
think,
like a hobby.
I don't think most people know that I am an outdoorsy type of guy. Like I like running. I mean, I run 5 miles like every morning.
Damn.
That's why I look so good, right?
Hey.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
So I love, I love hunting. I love fishing. I mean, I love hiking. Like I love being out. I mean, that's not real cool, but it's probably what
that's
you
good,
expect
that's
to
good.
see. I love music, but probably nothing that y'all like.
Yeah.
What you listen to?
Who's your favorite artist?
I listen to everything. The only thing I don't know a lot about are like, because my son's a freshman at Rouse, so there's like music that I don't know all the trendy hip hop stuff and
Yeet.
stuff.
Helicopter, helicopter.
See, like I don't even know what you're talking about, right? But I mean, like so, like if I were to pick my absolute favorite, you'd have to go by genre on that.
What you go to lately?
Because my go-to lately. So if you had asked me back in August, it would have been Tool, hands down. Oh yeah, it's like heavy metal stuff.
Oh, he'd be like,
Something like that, exactly. If you'd have gone like what I've been into like recently, like because I just went to their concert because I'm that old, as you two pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
I went to the Journey concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm in that, but then like I can also flip and do the country. I can do new country stuff. My go-tos are usually George Strait, like Willie Nelson, Chris Stapleton, those types of things. So
All right.
a wide variety. Yeah, I like me some Zach Brown.
That's what my man.
Chicken fried, baby.
You mentioned.
I know it's not. Is that not him? Who's that? Who's the guy that does chicken fried one? Who's the one that does the chicken fried one, Noah? That's the Zach Brown band.
I said Zach Bryan.
Oh, I know Zach Bryan. Who's the heck's Zach Bryan? I thought you said Zach Brown. Little bit of chicken fried. That song is Zach Brown band.
Oh, Zach Bryan.
Toes in the water, ass in the sand. Hey!
What is You mentioned earlier that you have some looks, but why is your haircut so bad?
I mean, my haircut ain't bad, man.
Tell us about the hairline.
Yeah, like you have like a big chunk of hair that's like leading over like your forehead. It's like
Oh, it's to cover up that zit right here, first of all. And guys, I wake up like, it is hard to be this good looking all the time.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I wake up, I look this good, and it doesn't take any work on my part.
That doesn't.
My wife cries like when I leave every day. She's like, the best looking man in the world is leaving my house.
All right. Well,
My haircut ain't bad. What you talking about?
speed questions segment. We got speed questions for him today. All right.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask you some stuff, and you gotta tell me off the top of the head, just fast.
Done. Got it.
All right, ready? Favorite color?
Leander blue.
Food.
Dude, it's royal blue.
I said white. All right.
Oh! I can
Favorite
be
food.
specific. Mouty's cheese enchiladas.
What's your dream car?
My dream car, my F-150.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Favorite animal?
My favorite dogs.
Movie.
Star Wars. Look around.
Yeah.
TV show.
TV show. Oh man, I don't watch a lot of TV. Call it Sports Center.
I guess that counts. Favorite sport?
Oh, that's tough because I like anything athletic. I'll watch anything that's on TV. So you call it football, like I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Like I love sports. So I'll watch baseball, basketball. I'll watch any of it. I don't have a favorite.
Who is like your favorite athlete?
My favorite athlete of all time, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana. All right. That's all I got. I'm trying to think of some more because I went too fast. But
That's the point.
all right, favorite candy.
Oh, jelly beans. Like this is like the season. How do you not like Starburst jelly beans, Sweet Tart jelly beans, Nerd jelly, little
That is
bumpy
such,
jelly
like-
beans? Oh.
Nerd clusters are good. I'm not gonna lie, those are
That's
good.
nothing but a jelly bean with Nerd smashed on the outside
That's
of them,
good.
fellas.
That was good. That's
good
good.
grief.
All
If
right.
we're going chocolate, it's got to be Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Oh,
Yeah, word up.
I can't. I can't eat peanut butter. I hate peanut butter now. I hate peanut butter. No, what I do is the other day, I'm not gonna lie, my dad made a peanut butter jelly sandwich and he was about to eat it and I punched it. It like flattened it.
Oh, I bet Rudy wore you out.
Yes, he did. He was
Oh
trying to
my
fight
God,
me.
I would if I were you. I'd have fought you too. The difference is I'd have won. Dang.
Okay. All right. Get into like the little deep questions now. All right.
Now, okay.
This is when it starts to get real. All right. What accomplishments have filled you with joy this past year?
I'll tell you the greatest accomplishment, and I mean and I'll speak professionally, right? I'll speak from the professional side. The best day of the year is graduation, right? And then it's ultimately why I decided to be a high school principal. And so it's actually one of the things I talked about in being a high school principal, that nothing beats that day. And so I would say it's not my accomplishment, but it's. So if you're saying within the past year, I would go back and say, well, I mean, it was the class of 22's graduation. Why is that? I mean, I got to see how kids, they've spent 13 years in public education and I get to be the one to hand them their diploma. And I mean, I think it's not my own personal accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, I consider myself a pretty selfless guy, so it's not something I've done, but knowing that I've been a part of that journey for the 2,200 students who are here at Leander High School is a pretty big accomplishment. So, in the same way with y'all here in about a month, so.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there
Life
thinking
starts,
about,
boy. You
dude,
better
it's
get
fast.
ready.
It went by too fast. What inspires you to be like a great principal, but like not only like a principal, but like a great person?
I don't consider myself, I don't think about it in terms of being a great principal. So ultimately, like when you're doing a job like this, and I hope it shows in the hallway to kids and the teachers and stuff, but I love what I do. I mean, I get to know kids, I know them by their names, I can tell you what they're involved in. I try to be involved in what they're doing. I try to understand and know what the faculty, like what they're doing, like how many kids that they've got, while maintaining and doing all the stuff that I've got to actually do as a principal. The day-to-day work is not fun, but being out in the hallways and being with kids and, being in classrooms and being at events and, your basketball game raised over $1,000, right?
Damn.
And that, I mean, in for Project Grad, which is ultimately to go back into y'all's pockets in some point. But like seeing y'all do stuff like that and helping y'all develop that and just hanging out, our handshake every day and,
Hey.
I mean, you call me up and like,
Gotta
dude,
do Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
y'all saying, hey, I need lunch. Sure, cool. What's up? You
Yeah.
know? I got you. I mean, those are the things that keep me doing. But I don't know if that's makes me great. I don't consider myself great. I just really love what I do. So,
What do you think it means to be great?
I think what it means to be great, I mean, people can talk about success in terms of money and everything else, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I could do to probably make more money. I don't view that as being successful. I think it's about, so I'll tell you, I pattern myself out a lot of people that walk these halls when I was a student and a student athlete here. You know, Charlie Rouse, Coach Bush, the Charlie Rouse, Mr. Rouse. Mr. Rouse, that has a high school named after him, is somebody I still communicate with, and I learned from him, even in high school. I mean, he knew me by name. He knew I was in track. He knew the classes I was taking. Like, he knew all those things. And so when you think about being great, I think it's about the impact and you know, what is that legacy that you left behind. I mean, I don't ask Drew Coleman, who's one of my former students, you know, Coach Harris, his poster's right there on the wall, in case y'all didn't know. He was one of my student athletes. You know, back in the day. You know, I don't ask to stay in touch, but he's kept in touch. Like, those are the things that, you know, I think it's all about, I think it's the connections and the relationships, if that makes sense.
So many, I'm kind of glad you, from the relationship, I kind of go into my next question, but so many students like admire you. So like, how do you like make that connection with like the students to like, you know, like present yourself?
I think you have to be genuine. Like I think most people know that in the interactions they've had with me and that they're genuine. Like, I'm gonna remember, and you know, we can banter and we can play. I don't get bent out of shape when someone calls me Chris or, you know, whatever else the case may be. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, I feel like I'm pretty laid back, but you know, we've got some things that we're, you know, that I expect. And I think because kids respect and because the staff respects, you know, they do things not because they're trying to please, but because they realize that's what's best for the students. I don't think I really answered that, but when you ask that, that's kind of the decision I'd go. So
if you could pass on,
and it's about hiring good people, because no, I think that's important, because one of the biggest jobs I've got is, you know, you look at, you know, somebody like Coach Price, right? And you know, and when I'm interviewing somebody, like, I'm listening, like, are they somebody who wants to make a connection with kids, or are they just looking for their next step up on a ladder? And somebody like Coach Price that, you know, has come in and tried to be a mentor in a program that was struggling, you know, to even put kids on the field when y'all were freshmen, now have got, you know, a full varsity squad and we're competitive again. Well, that's not because, you know, he loves football, that's his deal, but he's taken the time to do that. Well, I was in charge of that hiring. So when I'm hiring teachers, I try to listen for those same types of things of, do they feel the same way I do? That build a relationship with the kid first, because that goes a long way. I mean, I've spent many times as an AP, I mean, as an AP, as an assistant principal, that, you know, you'd have a kid in front of you that would make a mistake in middle school, and, you know, they would be like, I'm sorry, Mr. Simpson, I let you down. I'm like, it's not about letting me down. I mean, kids are going to goof up and mess up, and we're going to move on. I don't hold a grudge. So, anyway.
If you could pass on some words to wisdom for like the students that are about to graduate in life, like what words would like?
Y'all need to relax, man. I mean, I know y'all relax in terms of stuff out here, but, you know, I think as you've listened to things I've done and not necessarily barriers, but, you know, originally I would have told you, if you had asked me 30 years ago, I graduated 30 years ago this year. If you had asked me 30 years ago, I'd have told you I'd have been a pediatrician. And you know what? I don't regret any day that I am here and doing what I love to do every single day. And I mean, that's what you all have to do, is you ultimately have to find what is it that you're passionate about? What is it gonna make you happy? And you know what, honestly, you know, some students, they're driven by like things like GPA. Some people in society are driven by money. If that's what makes you happy, then chase it. There's nothing wrong if that's what you value. That's just not what I value.
Do you think that it's hard for you as a principal to always have like a smile on your face, even though like you might be going through something that might be happening?
Well, I hope nobody in district office sees this, but absolutely 100%. So it is, there's a lot that happens. There's kids have some tough stories, and families have some tough stories, and teachers have some tough stories. And so there's a lot of negative that you get in this. And so, you know, one of the things I've told my wife, who now works at central office, technically my boss in real life and now at home, there's a little humor there, but it's not really funny. I get told what to do all day long now. but that she would tell you that, like, when you like move up or move on, you're only battling like with the negative. Like, you don't get the positive. Like my release of all the stuff that goes on outside of this building is being here and being with y'all and being with teachers.
What do you find the most challenging part about being a principal?
No, I think it's balancing that. There's a lot of politics now. There's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of things that are happening outside of here. I think the inside stuff. I'd say the biggest thing that I'm fighting now is the vaping and the THC pens and all the nonsense that go on campus. You know, and getting kids to understand that, you know, there's consequences like for those things. So that part's hard. But also, I think just politically speaking, there's a lot that's not just happening in Leander ISD, but there's a lot that's happening like in the state with vouchers and different things that you're trying to keep people wanting to be in public school, because public school is not the enemy. Educators are not the enemy, and somewhere along the line, it's been turned into that, I think.
Yeah.
And like, how do we? And I think what I've tried to do here at Leander High School in my 6 years is kind of rebuild and reconnect that trust between what we're doing here. Doesn't mean you're always going to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But I think if they know that you made that decision because that's what's ultimately best for kids,
Yeah.
then I think that as long as they know that's why I do what I do, that yes, I'm going to make mistakes. Yes, people are going to make mistakes. Kids are going to make mistakes. Adults are going to make mistakes. But ultimately, they didn't make it because they were trying to hurt a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've been trying to build between us and the community.
Okay. Hold on real quick second. I'm going to edit this part out, but I need to see if it's still recorded because sometimes this joint shuts off. All right, we good.
All right, good.
All right, we good. All right. Had to check if the camera was still rolling. All right. What do you think your greatest accomplishment has been so far this year?
That you asked me that.
Oh, I did? Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah.
I started at the bottom.
My bad.
My greatest accomplishment, so I'll say my greatest accomplishment is sitting right here with you two.
Hey.
I get to be on the podcast.
That's what
the
I'm talking
Step
about.
Back podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all go watch, man.
I mean, this is how I know I've made it big.
we're going to come back. We're going to come back in like 5 years. I'm going to have the podcast going millions of
My
subscribers.
haircut's going to be fly. I'm going to be on a cane and a walker.
Same thing. What is so I know y'all teachers and principals, y'all have like lives outside of school. So what does like a typical Saturday night look for you? Like what are some of the things you like to do?
Man. Well, I think it all depends on the seasons. Like when I don't have events, like tomorrow I've got a job fair, but a typical Saturday night, man, I'm probably just hanging out in my backyard. I love working outside. Like I love like trimming branches and like clearing brush. Like I love doing like the manual labor
like
stuff.
outdoors, yeah.
And so like on Saturdays, like you'll find me in my backyard, you know, with a chainsaw and just getting after it and burning brush and then doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
What the missus and I like to do, like, you know, we like some live music. You know, I've got Mr. McCarg, our parking lot guy. His kid's in he's an adult now, but his youngest boy's in a band. And so like we'll go see them, and so like we'd like to hang out with friends. It's kind of nerdy, but my best friend John Graham, he's one of the assistant superintendents. You know, we do traveling together. On a Saturday, like we'll hang out and I'll cook.
Yeah.
People may not know that about me. You asked me about that. That people don't know that I actually like to bake. I like to bake and cook. Like I do cookies, I do bread, I do all kinds of stuff. I know, but I can flip that and do pulled pork, green chili pork.
Might have to make some. We'll have you give some to Noah. Noah eat them on the pod.
There you go. This is some of Simpson's green chili pork right here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tequila, lime, chicken thighs, maybe one of the best things I'm making these days.
Oh,
Chicken thighs.
it has tequila in it?
It does, but it burns off, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get all excited.
I love that. That's my favorite drink.
Don't say that out loud to me.
No, but I don't drink. That sounds gross. All right. Do you feel it is important to keep your personal life and work life separated?
Oh, 100%. And that is the biggest challenge that my wife and I have had, because she has a very hard job as what they call an area superintendent. And so she actually oversees everything in the Leander High School feeder pattern, except she can't really be my boss. So that's why I answered to Dr. Grissom.
Yeah.
I would tell you that it is very important for us. Like when I get home, we don't talk about work. Because I don't want to relive every little thing. I have Mr. Haug at LMS. I've got, you know, Dr. Rose. I've got Dr. Thompson over at Rouse. I've got people I can talk to do my venting and, you know, when things have gone wrong. But my personal stuff, I keep that. I don't want to know about her stuff, and she don't want to know about my stuff.
Has there ever been like a time in your career where like you've like had something that was like personal going on at home and like you kind of like got the best of you while you were at work?
Oh yeah. I think in fact, I think as much as I try to hide it from the kids, I mean, you know it. I mean,
we're all human.
You know, I'm human, exactly. And so I mean, sometimes it's hard to bury it, but you do the best you can to kind of be out. There have probably been a few days that like, where the heck Simpson go? We hadn't seen him in a couple of days. Probably having something going on, and I've been kind of locking down or staying away so I don't blow up or.
Yeah. But
because I do have another side, y'all just have never seen it.
how are you like doing like as a person, like feeling like right now? Are you like
good?
Doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's spring. I mean, it's stressful. It's the state accountability. All the state testing nonsense is starting. We got some seniors that need to get their act up, or they may not be graduating. So I mean, it's a stressful time, but it's also exciting. We got prom coming up. I mean that's always a great event. We got, things like the senior parade. We've got all these cool things that happen. Like
senior parade's might be tough.
Like the springs are just, I mean, they're just filled, but they're just filled. They're just busy.
Yeah. I actually got something I want to talk to you about after the pod that I got to ask you. It's I don't know. I got to see. It's kind of like one of my crazy requests.
Yeah.
All right. But what is like your favorite thing to do to like clear your head? Like what's like your version of therapy?
Oh, I run every morning.
Run?
So, so 5 miles. Like I said, I do 5 miles, about 5 miles like every morning. It's just me. It's music.
Yeah.
I get to kind of think about what's coming up for the day, what happened yesterday. And for those that are spiritual or whatever, it's your time to kind of talk to whatever big man you guys talk to, right? So
my big man's myself.
Well,
I'm the biggest man I know.
And that's fine. That's why I don't do the religion stuff much. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like the school system is kind of harsh on students? Like, do you think they do too much that makes us stressed out?
Yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, there's a lot of that we don't control. I mean, there are some things, right? I mean, I think y'all understand. We're a closed campus because we're concerned about y'all getting back and forth in the middle of the day. We've had accidents out here. We had somebody in an accident about a month ago, and we just had another one yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's that piece. I mean, I think that there are rules in society, and kids are like, why can't we do this or why can't we do that? Well, the reason why we don't allow DoorDash is because when we allowed DoorDash the past couple of years, people were letting random strangers in random doors all over the building. Well, that creates an unsafe environment where somebody wants to do harm to my students. But I think that a lot of the stuff that comes down from the state and stuff, they don't understand what actually happens
inside,
day to day.
Yeah. Do you think they should lighten up on the work, the schoolwork for some kids?
I don't know if they should lighten up on it. I mean, I just think that I wish we were closer aligned to what happens in middle school and then what happens, in post-secondary stuff. But I mean, lighten it up. I don't know. I mean, I think our teachers are always willing to work with students on amount of work or how to get stuff in or different ways that they can show they've learned or mastered something. So I don't know if the workload is any different than what it was back when I was in high school.
Yeah. How does it make you feel whenever you see kids creating bad habits? For example, they're smoking or they're drinking.
Frustrates me.
Yeah, they do that to basically because they're stressed. How do you feel? What do you think?
I think some of it is related to the mental health crisis that we're seeing. I would not say every kid that is dabbling in alcohol, drugs, vaping, nicotine, those things. I don't think they're all tied to mental health. And stress.
Yeah.
I think it's because that's what they think is cool to do. But it does frustrate me, not because it frustrates me, but because it's, that's why we have all these dadgum bathrooms locked down. Because kids write on the walls and they do stupid stuff, and I've got a limited staff, and if you guys want to see us in classrooms and doing other stuff, I can't have my APs all the time in bathrooms scrubbing, penises off the wall. It's ridiculous. Well, it's ridiculous. Take pride in the campus, but making decisions that are going to impact your life. Vaping and stuff. It's not much different than smoking cigarettes or whatever that was a big deal when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Which I never did. But that's an aside. But I mean, I don't know. You're just making bad habits. They're unhealthy. You're developing unhealthy bad habits. I mean, that $5 a day for that nicotine cartridge, it's $150 a month.
Yeah.
And that's $1,800 a year. I promise you, for me, that's 3 truck payments.
Is that even right math? Right math?
150.
Like that. Good
man. May
man.
not be. I may have messed up.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, my bad. I was tripping. All right. What message?
I don't know. It may have been wrong. I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
I'm not a human calculator.
Question it.
I just told you earlier, adults make mistakes.
I know. All right. What message do you have for like students right now? They're like kind of like going through it or like really stressed out right now.
You know, I think that the best thing is that, you know, I think that kids need to understand, like, you don't have to hold it in. You've got adults, you've got parents, you've got friends, you've got me, you know, you've got anybody out there that you can talk to. You don't need to bottle it in. You don't need to hold it all in. You don't need to do those things.
Yeah.
And there are other ways, there are healthy ways of doing it. It may be, you know, find something that you're passionate and interested in. I mean, you guys are going to get goofy, but I love putting together Star Wars Legos.
Yeah.
It's completely mindless for me. Like,
Yo, I'm gonna get a big old Lego set and I'm gonna bring it in here. We gonna build it one day.
it's just like,
Bro, Legos are so fun.
but it's like completely mindless.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
like
don't have
you
to
just
think of it. You just find
it.
something to do,
Yeah.
right? And so you got to find something you're interested and you're passionate about doing that allows you to have that release. So,
Yeah. So I know with me, when I have problems, I don't talk to nobody. I just like basically talk to myself, get myself through it. Why do you think, or like, do you think students find it harder to like talk to adults or like talk to somebody that's like kind of like as like a higher up about their problems?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's and I think part of that goes back to what we talked about before, right? I think that part of that is society not trusting public schools like they did, and because of that, there's probably a narrative at home that you can't trust the people in the schools.
Yeah.
And so it steers kids away from wanting to talk to. I mean, I knew, you know, I think that, you know, both of y'all being athletes, ex-athletes, you know, whatever, but you know you've got somebody, but you know you've got somebody here you can talk to that even though
Yeah.
you don't play basketball anymore, if you felt the need to, you know, you could go say hey to Coach Bradley or Coach Toops.
Yeah.
And I mean, they would be there if something was hard. You got Coach Price, you got Coach King, you got, you know, Coach Britton or whatever, like you've got somebody you can go to. And I don't think kids realize that they got to find somebody to go to.
Yeah. Do you think there are teachers out there that like don't care about the students? They just care about like the work getting done or like basically them like just getting a paycheck?
I don't think we have many of those here. I mean, I would say I have worked with some of those
Yeah.
before, and I would tell you that that is my job to find those individuals out and
Yeah.
have unpleasant conversations. So,
Execute them.
well, we're not going to execute.
Firing squad.
Oh, that's crazy.
Maybe execute their contract, but yes,
That's what I'm talking about. Do you feel like your job is to be more than a principal?
absolutely I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and so it's funny because I think most people view my job, you know, they look and they go, okay, well he's the top of the food chain here at Leander High School. I don't view my job that way. I actually
Yeah.
view it the opposite way.
Yeah.
The most important people on this campus right now are you two. Well, the other 2186.
Us too.
What you right now in this moment.
This is why we get
because you're here.
Chick-fil-A.
Amen. So the 2,186 that are here every day, that's the most important person. And then right after that are their parents. And right after that,
All right, so for some reason the phone like turned off right here. So yeah, we had to like stop recording and stuff, or we had to like go and check the phone and like, you know what I mean, like just check it. So yeah, my bad. All right, back recording. My bad, y'all. We had technical difficulties. Camera shut off.
you're good.
But so before the thing cut out, you were saying.
So saying that
the food chain,
I
like
think,
the chain.
yeah. I don't view myself at the top of any organization. Ultimately, I know every decision that gets made
Yeah.
has got me. But you know, when things go wrong, it's, you know, I will take full credit for it. It doesn't matter at what level. If kids goof up, teachers goof up, APs a goof up. I'll be the first to apologize and say we goofed and we're going to fix it. But when things go right, it's hey, congrats to whoever did that.
Yeah.
So,
How do you like to impact the students? Like, what's like your number one way to like get them to feel comfortable with you?
I think you got to get to know their names.
Yeah, the
Like,
names.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is names and not just, you know, I know we have y'all know Tanya Rodswa?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Tanya Rodswa was one of my students over at Wiley, and I mean, that's a crazy name, like when you see it like written out, and I remember, you know, you learn early on, like he didn't want to be called anything else. He wanted to be called Tanya Rodswa, so I made sure I knew how to pronounce his name every time I saw it, and I think those things like stick, and you try to, you know, and a lot of, like I do that, like y'all probably think it's crazy, but like I start to make connections with
Yeah.
So like I knew you, right? And because I knew you, then I would meet somebody else like in your group
Yeah.
or your squad or whatever we're calling them, right? And I would go, okay, so that's Jonah's friend. That's Jonah's friend, Noah, or that's Jonah's friend Caleb, or that's that's
Yeah.
oh, that's who that is. Oh, that's how I know Sebastian. And so, or oh, hey, that's Taylor Porter, and that's like I know Caitlin Beckerly because I worked with her mom. And so I make connections
Yeah.
to what kids are doing and like who they hang out with, and it helps me to remember. And I think that's important to kids. I mean, I've had a lot of kids will go like, I've never had a principal ever call me by my name.
Yeah. How do you how do you, well, not me, I never had that problem.
Besides when I'm in trouble.
All the principals know me. Yeah, I used to get in trouble a lot, and I was also like, everybody knew me, so it wasn't that hard. How do you want like the kids, like what is like your message for like the kids, like you want to tell them like, hey, like I'm here to help, like I'm here to like make you feel safe?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, I think I say it, but two, I think it's also just being visible. I think it's just being out there. I think it's being part in the mix. I mean, we had a fight yesterday. I mean, I was right there with the APs and helping one of the kids off, and dude came in here and we chatted about what was going on, and he was worried about different things, and I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna think about this like when you've graduated, and you know what, we'll probably laugh about it 4 years from now.
I'd be laughing. The fights here suck. Fights here suck.
I mean, but I mean, I think that's just it. I think it's being visible. I think it's continuing to do that. I think it's being in classrooms, it's being at the field, it's being on the court, it's being at performances, it's all those things.
All about like the presence. What has been like the most like tragic or like traumatizing thing that like you've seen like as a principal? Like what's something that like really hit home for you?
That's hard. So I'll tell you that losing a student is one of the worst things.
Yeah.
Having to bury a student, or I would say that those are, and I've had to do it from them.
Yeah.
I've had students who have taken their own life, and then accidents and stuff. But I would say that's the worst thing.
Yeah. What is your number one priority as a principal, or not as a principal, as a person when it comes like to students?
I mean, obviously, they're not going to learn if you're not in a safe environment. So even though I seem laid back and maybe unaware of things that are going on, I'm pretty aware of what's happening from a safety side. So I believe it's my job, is once y'all drive here, once mom and dad drop you off or a bus drops you off, it's my job to make sure you're safe. And if you don't feel you're safe in this building, there's no way, nothing else is going to matter. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to get your credits if you ultimately don't feel safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, last little part. Got any final messages for the pod or the students or anything?
2023, we got 2 months left. Get your butts in class.
In class.
Finish up strong.
Strong.
No stupid decisions.
None.
And if y'all are going to do a senior prank, better not have anybody hurt.
Senior prank's about to be crazy.
Let's rate it with midgets.
That's crazy. We'll have the one girl from Instagram coming here. All right, man. That's me. All right, man. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. You know what I'm saying? Another great pod. Let me know any tips, how to improve, you know what I mean? And I really hope this episode really helped some of y'all in terms of just like, I guess, stress and all that. But we're going to have a whole separate episode for that. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all for watching, man. I hope this really helped some of y'all. And I hope y'all liked it, man. Appreciate y'all. Look out for the next one.